Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Wildha Afosma Adawiyah. I'm from TBIB. In this section, I want to explain about implementation of total physical response principle in teaching vocabulary at elementary school. In learning English, students acquire for the language skills. They are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Then, they also have to acquire language components such as structure, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Explicitly, students need to learn both of language skills and language components communicating in English. Students have to understand the structure in forming sentence, to choose the appropriate diction, and to pronounce it correctly. These components of language support learners' mastery in communicating English. A cite in Turnberry 2002, David Wilkins states that without grammar mastery, a speaker can make a simple message, yet without vocabulary mastery, it is almost impossible to deliver any message. A cite in Turnberry 2002, Deller and Hawking states that the more learners spend time in studying grammar, their English will not improve very much. From those explanations above, vocabulary is very important in language learning to communicate with other people. However, as a second language learner, it is different from a native speaker who is able to master vocabulary easily. A native speaker probably master 20,000 words at 5 years old compared to a grown second language learners. There are only about 5,000 words mastered by them. It happens that the second language learners experience nothing. They mostly acquire quantity than the quality of exposure that the native speaker receive. In fact, to be able to communicate in English, the language learners have to acquire 2,000 words. Vocabulary will make the practice of English language structures easier. Having many stocks of words is useful for describing daily life, ideas, and feeling. So that the researcher tried to implement the teaching learning with total physical response or TPR method, because the students will learn English with practicing the comments that given by the teacher. It is expected can make teaching vocabulary easier, fun, and interesting. TPR is a method in language teaching which is developed by the Dr. James G. Acera site in Setiadi. In this language teaching method, the teacher gives an example of word and practice the word by doing some physical activities based on the meaning of the word. So, the students will learn vocabulary by doing some body movements based on the word's meaning. TPR is a method which based on the premise that the human brain has a biological program for acquiring any language. So, 3 identified that total physical response method was confirmed to be appropriate for teaching English and for children English vocabulary learning at early stage of their learning process. TPR is effective in helping slow young learners with low achievement in acquiring English as a second language. For that reason, the researchers of this research think that this method is best used for children or beginners. In addition, based on findings conducted by Hani et al. At 2013 state that TPR was confirmed to be appropriate for teaching English and for children English vocabulary learning at early stage of their learning process, and the main skill developed through the application of TPR method is vocabulary skill, since this method pretends to teach the language similarly as the process that the children follow to acquire their mother tongue. Based on the explanation above, by teaching children using total physical response is successful to be implemented, this research is conducted to find out whether there is significant difference of students' vocabulary achievement after the implementation of TPR principles. How many words did the students use correctly during the implementation of this method, and how the implementation of TPR principle in teaching vocabulary is. Okay, maybe just this from me, and we'll continue the explanation by Santika and Safrina.